Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Marveling and Madness with myself and Dominique. How you doing, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you. I was off a few days this week, but it feels like I've been in all week. So yeah. How about yourself?
Yeah, another feeling. Been a very busy week, but can't complain. We keep moving. So that matters.
And I should say your name's Stephen as well.
Is it? Is it? Okay. Thank you.
Just introducing you for you, mate.
Thank you. It's not like it's on the screen or anything. It's for everyone to see. Well, I say everyone. Probably the people
Uh,
to see. You
for,
know.
for for the one viewer to see.
Hey, it's better than no viewer. Positivity.
Well, that it is, I suppose. We all we
Uh,
all we all we have at least one person view. There we
that's,
doubled our subscribers, I think, in the last week.
there you go. So yeah, I haven't actually looked. The week's been that busy. I haven't actually looked. So check us out.
Yeah, it was someone we knew, but that's by the by.
Doesn't matter. It's growing. It's growing. All right. So do you want to give me the first topic? See where we at?
Yeah, let's start in our normal favourite haunt of a bit of rugby. I've got two topics on
Hmm.
rugby this week. So my first one was a little bit old news now, but it's worth us talking about is the fact that Leicester's coaching staff have been plundered once again by the pirates of the English rugby game. No, I'm joking. England rugby have taken two more of our coaches. Yeah, two more of our coaches, and they're still talking about taking another one. So we're basically now getting down to the point where we don't have a coaching team. At least, well, to be fair, the two that they've taken are staying till the end of the season. But
Yeah.
yeah, so quite a rebuilding job at Tigers, which will be quite the challenge. But
Yeah, because I suppose the way you can look at it for you, obviously, it's both happy and sad because obviously it shows the quality that they have there. But then obviously for your own club, you know, you don't want him to keep nicking, all the quality stuff. So, and players as well, because I imagine a lot of the players come from Tigers as well.
yeah, well, like at the moment, both of our scrum halves are at Tigers. Sorry, with England. Although I think Ben Youngs has been sent back this weekend, so whether he's playing for Tigers or not, I'm not sure. Um, but
Interesting.
I thought, yeah, he has. Yeah, he was sent back. He didn't play last weekend against Italy.
Mm.
Um, so I don't know whether he's back with the England squad or if he's with Tigers. I assume he's back with the England squad actually this week, but I don't know.
Surprised they're not asked him to kick yet, because I forget his name every time. Uh,
Owen Farrell?
yeah, he's not been great. That's not right.
No, Ben
He's not
Youngs
been
probably isn't
great.
the best person to kick. I don't know who they would get to kick actually in the England team.
Well,
If
it'll probably be Smith, won't it?
yeah, but
Surprised.
he wasn't picked last week, was he?
No. So it's a bit of a weird one. Obviously, there's still one, so it worked out well in the end. But you want to take those points where you can get them because there's going to be the vital ones.
Yeah.
The kicking game is just as important as scoring, your tries.
Well, yeah. Well, that leads us nicely on to the topic of the Six Nations of the weekend, where England finally got the first win. I say
Yeah,
finally, they've only been two games. It's not it's not like they've been playing like 30 games and haven't won, but
yeah, but it's new. What's it? New management. So
yes.
everything's been thrown upside down. So you got to give them their victory, and I'll say it's quite a convincing win to the point where I think at half time I was like, I'm actually going to watch the second half because it was kind of boring. So that's where they're winning quite well. I was like, am I gonna? I still watched it, but I was like, oh, am I going to watch it though? Because this is kind of boring now. There's no will they won't they. It looks pretty much in the bag.
It's just what it is. Yeah, I didn't watch. I didn't actually watch any rugby this weekend live because
Big fan.
I know.
Yeah.
I was kind of on holiday, so we were down south, and so I didn't see it. I did follow the scores. I was sitting in a cafe on Saturday trying to follow the Ireland France game, which I have. Well, I did watch the first half of actually when I got back.
Mhm.
So does that look like a phenomenal game? Um, probably
That
the
was, to be fair, like I was at work, to be honest. It was quite a good game, or at least the first half. And then I was going home by the second half, so I couldn't be bothered to stay. But yeah, obviously, surprisingly to me, France actually lost. I thought, they were going to be my favourites to go win it all, which they still probably could do, but I thought maybe they'd get the clean sweep and continue their utter domination of rugby.
Yeah, I'm not sure anyone's going to beat the Irish in this Six Nations. I'd be surprised if they drop a game to really anyone left. They're going to beat Italy. I'd be surprised if Scotland beat them, even though they're doing quite well. Scotland are the dark horses of the tournament, I think, in terms of coming up,
Yeah.
coming up the outside lane and surprising everyone. England, I don't think England will win. I'd have thought we'd come something like third or fourth. Is my gut feeling.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, I think this is just testing us. I don't think you can really go in and be like, oh, we're gonna, share what we're about. It's what you're trying to, I think, find out what works at the moment and what doesn't with what little time you do have.
So yeah, well, I think that let's see how the next round of games go. But I've been quite impressed with the Irish and the French. They're still my top two teams. I think now it's definitely got to be going. At the moment, my Six Nations finishing ranks will probably be Ireland first, France second, Scotland third, England fourth.
Okay.
I'm going to go Wales fifth and Italy sixth. I think that's
Yeah,
my.
we're having a terrible time. Absolutely terrible time. So we'll go into another little subsection. So obviously there's no games this weekend. But there's games the following weekend. So we'll do a little prediction. We got Italy, Ireland first.
Do
What do you
we, do
think you
we
swing
do we
to
need
that
to
one?
say do we need to say that one?
I think you do, You never know. You never know.
I'm going to go Ireland win by 20.
Wow. Wow. I mean, if Italy play like the way they did in the first game, could be an interesting one. But they got to bring that all throughout the whole 80 minutes. So whether they can do it or not leaves a lot to be discussed.
What about you? You didn't actually say your prediction.
Uh, I just want to be silly and be like, Italy be like 2 points just for something daft.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm going for like weird and wonderful. There'll be like a couple of maybe yellow cards, and then they just start pulling tries through. So I want to go for something just a little bit out there, just to be different. I can't just like,
Nice,
yeah,
nice,
Ireland, I'm going to take it because that's way too obvious. So I want to be a bit weird and wonderful about that one.
classic.
England and Wales. I think that'll be quite a good game to watch.
Well, it depends if it goes ahead at the moment because they've said Wales might be on strike, which is another thing. Since they've not, none of them have secure contracts, so they're talking about going on strike at the moment.
Ah.
My gut feeling is it'll be an England win, partly because of Wales being distracted by the strike. I'm going to go for an England win by 10.
Ooh. Ooh. Still going to play different like it. I'm going to go with Wales. Just because I feel like these are the teams that are obviously not, besides Italy, are not in form. At least England have got one win, whereas Wales, I still feel like obviously they're struggling, but England aren't. I wouldn't say that they're doing their best just yet. They've only won one, so
Yeah. Man
it,
loves
it
an
leaves
underdog.
it leaves a lot to be. Yeah, I'm gonna say Wales. Just for the giggles. And then we got France and Scotland, obviously the day after. For that one, I'm gonna take it a little bit more seriously. I'll probably say France.
Yeah, I'd go France. Probably close though. I think it'll be by like 5. France by 5.
Yeah, if Thunder Merva keeps having the magical runs he's having at the moment, then yeah, it could be an interesting game. Take him out of the game. I don't think they have as much velocity going forward, so we shall see.
And get themselves a 2x4 and take his legs.
Let's take him out. Take him out. Because at the moment, that's where like all their sort of plays coming through. He's on the left, isn't he? The left winger. So yeah, so
Gotta
just
remember.
take him out. Then you're not got to worry about him so much. Dampens their souls.
Yes, yes, he's quite some player. Mind you, to be fair to Scotland, they've got. I think their 1 to 15 are strong across the park. I'm not so sure.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying a general outlier. Like that was a player that stood out the last two
Yeah, yeah.
games, even last weekend. against outstanding, got them in a lot of good positions as well. I think he scored as well. I can't remember.
Probably did.
Pretty sure he scored.
Again, I missed the actual game, sadly.
Ooh, terrible fan.
I know. Letting everyone down.
How could you? How could you? I'm just gonna double check. Did he score? I'm pretty sure he did.
We'll have a nice momentary pause while you.
Oh no, he didn't. He didn't score.
Oh, there you go. He let the side down, didn't he? Going.
Yeah. Well, he still played. He was my player of the match. If I had to pick one, not just because he's South African as well.
Go back to the draw. Yeah, he is really a South African. So
yeah,
fair play to you guys.
I think France even have one or two. I think they definitely have one.
We all like to pull in a few of you guys.
Yeah, it's just the quality. They can't make it into the actual side, so you go elsewhere, and I can't fault them for it.
To be fair, I think Van der Werf probably would get in the South African side now with how he's playing. But at least in the 23, probably.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have a lot of game time unless it was like the World Cup and you're playing against like Canada or something like that. Then maybe you'll get game time then. But yeah, the competition is just very strong at the minute, so I don't think so.
Yes. Well, there goes our weekly 15 minutes on rugby that we do.
It's right because you got other topics. So
it's the rugby podcast. That's what we're going to start calling it. Oh wait, I think that already exists.
There's quite a few of them. Some of them are really good as well. Yeah, well, what do you call a podcast? There was this, I think it's called Widgy Squidgy, and he's one of the. Just give him a plug that he definitely needs from us. Basically, does like all the breakdowns of like all the World Cup and like domestic games of ours. Absolutely phenomenal. So
there we go.
We're some good information. Widgy Squidgy. Yeah.
He's our direct competitor, clearly.
Absolute amateurs, novices.
Both of us are just sitting here in hoodies. With I've got my beard's got about 2 weeks growth, and these are proper like tidy up.
It's only because I couldn't find my hat, so I'm like, we're just gonna roll with this then. No idea what it is.
Is that where you went? Is that where you went for 25 minutes?
Yeah, I was looking for because I know I left my other one at work. So I was like, that's annoying. And then I was looking for the one I wear now for podcast because it's a podcast hat now. And I have no idea where to put it. So it is what it is. We keep moving.
It's your lucky podcast hat.
I would say lucky. It's just, we're not going to go into it. Anyway, you can go with your next topic.
Well, I'm going to do my weekly divergent into the world of the husband of a teacher because I know you love it and it's so relevant to everybody that watches. So, okay.
Whenever you're ready, I'm all ears.
So, one of the things you got to know, Steve, is if you're married to a teacher, is that you're going to get a lot of random packages through the door because your partner is going to spend a good proportion of their wages every month buying stuff for the classroom, particularly if they're a nursery teacher, because they basically buy all the toys and they just go round to random people's houses, go pick them up, get all the furniture, get all the nice toys. Every week we've got packages coming through the door. We've got people, she's going off to go and pick up new toys from other people. It's like, honestly, my house, I think, probably has more toys than a toy shop most of the time. And she makes me go and visit a well-known furniture store, which I don't really enjoy going to, and it's not even for things for our house; it's for the ruddy classroom.
Oh, bless you!
There you go.
For that week, to be fair, that one was quite tame. It's
not tires in a forest, no. But it does show you how little resource our classrooms get, and it's no wonder our kids are growing up a little bit feral. No, I'm joking; they're not very feral, but it's no.
Yo, into other topics. Oh, I don't know about that.
Kids are not growing up feral, but it's a real challenge for I think kids and teachers.
Man, they're not getting paid enough. They were on strike the other day. Just say how it is. They're not getting paid enough, bro. Just voice your opinion.
I think actually, if you talked most teachers, my wife included, actually, the strikes are largely not about the pay. Not that they probably wouldn't want more money because they're still being paid less than pre-recession, but for a lot of teachers, it's actually about the staffing levels in terms of resource. So a lot of issues are coming around, getting a bit serious now. Instead, a lot of issues that are coming out are actually around the fact that they're not getting the right levels of TAs for the classroom and things to support the kids that really need it. So the kids aren't getting the right sort of education support that they need, and the teachers aren't able to commit the time that the kids need because they haven't got enough TAs. And obviously the government have basically said that any pay rises need to be funded by schools at the moment, which again will take more money out of the school budget, and again more money out of giving to TAs. And you've got a lot of academies now that obviously have a lot of senior structures and things, which to me, I don't know why they didn't just centralize it under a government system, so you don't need to have all these academies, because again that takes money out of the TAs and the classroom where you really need to spend the money. I'm not saying there aren't some good academies out there, but to me, the system's become very top heavy now because of the system that's been set up. And I think that's a lot of the frustration that teachers are having, as well as other things. But for a lot of teachers, it's not about the money, even though that's what's being portrayed in the classroom. And I think obviously there are some that are talking purely about the money, but for a lot, I think that really do care about the kids and things, it's about a lot more than that. Anyway, there's my
basically you don't want feral children, so it's fine. I get you. These feral children, these feral teachers, you know.
Ultimately, I like to think that most people, most teachers included, want what's best for the kids, and I think that's what's upsetting. That's not what they're giving the kids, you know.
Otherwise, you're in the wrong kind of job. But I feel like everyone's feeling the pinch because obviously the last couple of years, but you would probably say the last 3 years have probably been the most strenuous on any economy. So everyone's feeling the pinch.
Yeah, except for most people are.
Well, unless you're in oil or anything of that nature.
If you're on a lot of money, if you're earning a lot of money, then you're probably okay. You might have given up one of those £2,000 bottles of wine, but for the most part, you're quite all right.
Yes, such a priority in my life, a £2,000 wine.
That's what, but I think for people who are already on, if you have a lot of money, like energy bill rises, like that's a tiny fraction of the money you spend, so it's not going to have any impact on your life, really.
Very true.
Like you think about the things that really impact the low income earners. We're talking about like food prices and fuel bills and things like that. Actually, if you're earning megabucks, most of your money isn't going to be going on those things. You'll spend a little bit more maybe than the average person, but not a huge amount more. So if you're rich, a cost of living crisis will have negligible impact on you.
Very good point. Wouldn't know, I'm not rich.
What's that?
So I wouldn't know, I'm not rich.
Neither am I, but like I'm reasonably comfortable. So the impact on me again is much less than on people who are right on the edge of falling out of having enough, you know.
Oh yeah, we definitely had conversations with people, and just by generally just looking around, you can definitely tell that a lot of people are struggling. Where should never come to the point where you're thinking food on the table or heating the house. So that is quite sad, but it's the reality we're living at the moment. Luckily, they still have a little bit of, I think there's a government grant where you get like 60 quid or something like that in the electricity bills or something of that nature, which is quite helpful. So you could probably buy yourself a little fan heater, which is probably going to eat a lot of it, but at least you still have some warmth. So every little helps.
It's really challenging, and it's a really challenging environment for a lot of people. And I think, especially people who are doing okay, we really need to be considering the people around us and how we can help out and where we can. Be understanding if the government say, actually, you need to pay a little bit more as a high earner, because there's people who are really, really struggling. And I think, like, to me, that's just a fair trade.
Yeah, there's that. And then you get BP who are like, more or less publishing that, releasing their, what do you call it? My brain's not today, but yeah, their profits for the year. And there's obviously over 4 billion for just this year, and this year's not even finished yet. So I'm like, how can you say like do that when people are absolutely struggling? It's absolutely sickening, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, they've got to report their profits, but you do think actually you've put all the prices up of things.
Yeah.
British Gas, for example, have just made. I think it was they've announced that. I think it was British Gas have just announced theirs, and they've like tripled their profits for the year. You just think actually, you say you're struggling, so you're putting all the prices up, but you clearly, if you're tripling your profits, something's you're not being fair there.
Yeah.
I really do think as a country we need to look at whether we should have at least have an. I'm not saying it only a government option, but I think we should look at whether we should have an government option for these things, because like EDF, the French owned one, owns quite a bit of our power infrastructure. So we're then subsidizing the French like energy bills. And yet our government, it's all private, so all we're doing is lining the pockets of some quite wealthy individuals. And I'm not saying it's wrong to make money. We all
but
try and
at the
maximize
end
what
of
we
the
have.
day, you think we live, a bit more democracy. You want to help out those who can't really help themselves at the end of the day. So
yeah, a lot of it comes down to circumstance, doesn't it? So I really do think the government needs to look at whether they should have a government owned, but at least have an option so that they can set the standard and say, right, well, that's the maximum price anyone should pay. So that's the price we're charging. And then if people see that, they'll go, we'll go there then.
Yeah.
I got real serious real quick.
No, I enjoyed it. I was already thinking, we've gone into quite a good tangent, which I quite enjoyed, and I was also learning a few new things as well because I didn't know about EDF Energy. So yeah, we can all learn a thing or two.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's EDF Energy. Like again, some of the things I say are I'm taking from friends and family. So let me give them props again.
Name and shame them. So when we're wrong and get called out, we're like, yeah, that wasn't me. That was.
So I keep it quiet. If it's brilliant, it could be on me. If it's terrible, I'll still take it.
Either way, still win it.
Still me. Yes. So yeah, I don't know. It's a challenging time. There's a lot of countries doing difficult or having difficulties, I should say.
Oh, for sure.
And I just think I wish there was a bit. See, I wish there was a bit more love in the world, and a little bit more fairness and care.
Ugh, you little sod.
Let's look after the next generation as well.
No, they gotta look after themselves.
Let's make them feral. Let's make them all feral.
That's it. Whatever's gonna affect them, I'll be long gone by then. So that's your problem, Me and Jesus will be talking about whatever issues you have. Just be like, yo.
Why am I still gonna be here?
I don't know.
I'll just be like,
I can't decide for you what you're doing. I am just me.
Just a man that's 400 years old, just wandering around, a little bag of bones.
Well, they did live long times back in the biblical area.
Just area. It was just one area.
Just one area. Well, I'm sure some of them lived for like 200 or 300 years, which is just absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, I've been alive for 2,000 years already.
Okay, fair enough. We're in debate. We don't know.
I was just there standing with Julius Caesar. I've just lived many lives,
Well, there's a theory to that as well. We're all just energy, and this is just like a meat suit. So we just same energy, different meat suit.
I'm an energy meat soup. Steve.
No, they're two different things. So you're an energy, but you obviously need something to travel around in the energy. So this is the meat suit that you have to walk around in.
And Jesus was the bridge between energy and meat soup.
That's it. We brought them together.
Sounds like we started our own cult. Well done.
Someone will buy it and they'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. We're like, what is a soul?
It was like that guy who...
What is a soul?
It's that meatball in the soup. It's that guy that came up with the was it the meatball god or something, and then it started almost like a religion. So bizarre.
There's a lot of them now, isn't it? It's just bizarre. I think even Jedi got I think, realized, or it's an actual religion now. So why not?
There you go.
Why not walk around as
Madness.
a Jedi?
Madness. Do you want to hear another topic?
Sure, hit me with it.
So,
I'm sure I
so
can ruin it.
I was reading a story tonight that caught my attention. So I talk about dirty protest. Is there was I think it was a ballet director in Germany has someone I think it was a journalist or something had written a bad review. A critic had written a bad review about them, I think, or something like that. So they confronted them in the middle of a performance. I think it was. I'm paraphrasing or probably misquoting entirely. And they got a bag of dog poo out of their pocket and smeared it on the person's face, which is
Mm.
truly gross and disgusting. And I think that person spent too long thinking about a dirty protest. But you're like,
Oh,
that's some bloke just smearing dog poo on a woman's face. It is horrible and disgusting. But you're like, what drives people to do things like that? Like, what goes through your head? Like, I'm going to do a dirty protest. I'm going to find some dog poo. I'm going to take it to a performance. I'm going to smear it on your face. To be honest, I'd be gagging before I even like just carrying the dog poo around. I
yeah,
reckon
but
I'd be
you're a
gagging.
reasonable person. Well, most of the time, a
Well,
reasonable person. Whereas I feel like if you already come to the conclusion you're gonna carry around dog poo, just carry around dog poo. Not even gonna do anything with it. You're just gonna just carry it around. Just let's just break that down for a second. Like that's your thing. Like I'm gonna have dog poo and I'll walk around with
carry
it
it
in my
around with me.
pocket. That's already odd. To then go to the next degree, like now I'm gonna take this dog poo on my hand and then smear it in someone's face, which is yeah. There's already two levels. You're already two levels above. You're literally lost the plot.
That's true. That's true. Maybe an alternative universe version has come through from the multiverse.
Because there's also another weird story. In America, obviously, have you heard about the weather balloons? And
Oh
now they're
yeah, the
like,
Chinese spy, whatever they're meant to be.
yeah, and now they're like, oh no, it's not the Chinese. They're now saying it's aliens as well, because obviously the story's out there now. So now they're just like, no, it's alien things as well. Like, make up your mind. Like, it's one or the other. You
Like,
know, like how have you gone from weather balloons or is it aliens? It's
like
just two extremes.
I'm going to be honest here, and if an alien's got enough technology to come all the way to Earth from wherever they've come from, I'm going to put it out there right now. They ain't going to be using weather balloons.
You don't know.
It's
You
like,
don't know. That could be
you know
like
when you
the most sophisticated way. You don't know.
you know when you watch like films from the past and you look at they try to use like aliens and the technology they have, and it always looked a bit terrible. You
Mm.
go, wow. I think that's what some people's minds are stuck in. They're like, oh, they've traveled billions of light years to Earth, but obviously their solution when they got here was put up a few weather balloons and hope that don't get shot down.
It is slightly bizarre. Let's not lie about it. Because I'm like, that's the weirdest way to try extract information.
Yeah. I've also the other thing is I really like if it was the Chinese. I'm not saying it isn't, but if it was, like America has, you always know when there's objects coming into your airspace because they always track planes and everything, and they pick up things coming into their airspace. So surely they would have known. So the Chinese would have known that. And you've got satellites that probably give you better pictures than a lot of things anyway. I'm not saying there might be some reason why you don't use a weather balloon. Might give you some different data.
Mhm.
Don't know. However, I'm just thinking if it was the Chinese, if I was the Chinese doing it, I would use it as a distraction to distract from the thing that I was actually doing.
It's a
Because
possibility.
just take everyone's focus off the thing you're actually doing so that no one notices. And just make a big hoo-ha about some weather balloons that you've sent in to spy on people, even though everybody knows they wouldn't have actually achieved anything.
Because I think there were three that we heard of, and obviously they left them there for a little while, so you definitely know about it. So that's the weirdest thing to me. If it was me, like, oh, someone's spying, you just shoot it down. You wouldn't want anyone to know, would you? You wouldn't publicize.
No, I don't know. It all seems it's probably all a load of nonsense, and everyone just
It,
is get up in arms for no reason.
I wouldn't say off my arms. I just find it funny. Like there was just two extremes, One's a weather balloon, and then you're just scrolling down social media, and then the aliens have made contact with America, and I'm like, okay.
What the Americans are really doing is playing a real life version of balloon tower defense.
I don't think I ever played that game.
You know, play that game. It's like you build towers and you have to stop the balloons getting through to taking your lives if they get to the other side.
Like you needed more of a childhood, my friend.
Probably, I needed more of many things, but I've got to where I've got to.
Oh,
Yeah. So yeah,
dude.
balloon tower defense. That's the way. That's what they're doing.
Unbelievable.
They're just playing real life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
no,
course.
they're
It's like
playing
Stranger
balloon.
Things.
They're playing balloon tower defense, and what they're doing is that you're going to get super balloons, so they're going to be like harder to knock down, and then the Americans are going to come out with like a super monkey that fires lasers. Problem solved. Real life balloon tower defense. Play it later, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. 100%.
That's made me want to
Yeah.
play it now. I probably will.
The minute I log off, it's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Oh, I live such a lifestyle. I'm getting hot in here. It's very warm. My face is going very red.
Okay, hit me with the next one. What you got for me?
I
Oh,
think
I got one for you actually.
Oh yeah.
So this is gonna be allegedly, because again, we don't know how true this is, but apparently, Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yeah.
world famous actor, very good guy. Well, very good actor. I don't know if he's a good guy or not.
Yeah, he's got a bit of criticism, hasn't
Apparently,
he?
pardon?
He's had a bit of criticism, but anyway, carry on.
It's not really what we're here to talk about, but
Yeah, carry on.
apparently he is dating allegedly, just to make this
Okay,
clear,
yeah.
a 19-year-old, which is mad.
Yeah,
It is crazy.
the only input I can put into that entire conversation is why. Like I have nothing in common with a 19 or 18-year-old now.
What do you think he has at 55?
That's what I mean. Like if your entire thing is about just dating someone, I don't know if he's just I don't want to say about why he's doing it. There could be many reasons. There are some obvious ones that jumped ahead, but I don't jump to my mind. But I don't want to say that is the exact reason. But very rarely, and it's not true all the time, because sometimes you do find couples that have a very wide age gap, and it works. But I often find there's also a lot of relationships, especially with famous people, that seem to be more of a superficial nature and an ego thing than
Yeah,
a meaningful relationship.
Leonardo.
I tried to put that as delicately as I could.
Oh, no, sometimes you need a little ego place. In his defense, she doesn't look 19. Not that it's excusable, but she doesn't look 19. So I would say probably around 23, borderline 24.
Yeah, all I can say is that again, as I hope it's not an ego. Look what I can do kind of thing. It's a genuine I care for this person kind of thing for both parties. That is,
I mean, I just
for both
find
parties.
it funny more than anything else. So I'm like, hey, you do you, man. Like, it's your life. Go live it at your best. But
Yeah,
it's
not for me.
crazy.
I'll stick to someone who I can. I'll just stick to my normal
Your wife.
existence.
Let's just say your wife. It's okay. It's okay, bro.
Yeah. I will stick to my wife. Thanks.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I just think it was a bit wild, I'm like, yeah, I'm not judging. You do you, but I just think it's a little crazy. Because you got to think, like, this was another thought that popped into head. Like, technically, he would be probably older than her dad, which is wild to me.
Could well be. Yeah. Again, I don't.
Again, I'm not judging.
No. We
Not
have to like. The problem is, you see those relationships, you go, it's all ego, it's all superficial. But there are occasions where it's not, and it's actually like there are occasions where a big age gap works. So not a. It's a hard one, isn't it? But I don't want to judge their
I got him
motives.
spinning. I got him spinning. You don't know what to say. I got him spinning.
Trying to be careful without knowing the situation. I can't comment overly, other than to say I really hope it's not an ego thing, but it is or not a superficial thing, but it is a serious, scary relationship. Which maybe it's not. But we'll see. Time will tell.
I mean, it's probably not even true. Like, you got to think he's probably the most famous man in the world, one of the most famous men in the world. So him just being pictured next to somebody, is going to spark rumors. So it's probably not even true. I just thought it was funny. Like, if it's not true, it's just something that's kind of funny.
That's it.
That's all.
Always entertaining.
100%. Just to see spin as well.
Trying to walk the very fine line of not offending anyone.
Right, I said allegedly at least 100 times. So
you did well. You did say many allegedlys.
Yeah, just gotta get them in so no one can like clip them every time. It's allegedly, even now, allegedly.
Yeah. And allegedly, we're coming to the end of this podcast.
There you go. So that's a nice way to finish up. Thank you for watching Marvelous
in the Madness.
Thanks for watching Marveling in the Madness. I have been myself, Stephen Matembo, and with Dom as well. Thank you. Peace, like, and subscribe.